related to nowadays the problem which everybody and most of the people are facing, like depression and psychological problem, or even for health issues, other health issues also. So the Indian knowledge system is available, in both formal literacy sources and informal non-literacy sources. And three categories which can be identified among the literary source is our Sanatan Dharam literature, which we found in Sanskrit language. All of you know about this. Then also other dharmas, tradition also literatures are there, where we find about our Indian knowledge system related to various aspects. Then a large repository of knowledge in other Indian languages and dialects are also available. Along with this, Buddhist and Jain literature have contributed to Indian knowledge system. The Jain sacred literature consists of, canonical text, among which a portion is dedicated to mathematics. Then there are multiple regional languages, and in each there is a huge corpus of sacred and other religious, information, knowledge related to health, psychology, and other issues. And we know that the Vedas of Indian system are the primary source of knowledge in the Indian knowledge system. Then there are ideas on different aspects of life moving together, like spiritual, religious, and material. As far as the importance of this ancient knowledge is concerned, then we can see that the thinking patterns and the repository of knowledge created by our ancestors in any society enable the current generation to understand the thought process and frameworks of the previous generations. It also allowed them to analyze the received wisdom in a contemporary context and identify new opportunities to assimilate the collected wisdom and synthesize new knowledge. So therefore, keeping the current generation in the dark about the contribution of the ancestors is an inefficient and a short-sighted option for the society. So we should always, give details and information about the contribution of our ancestors that have made, and which will definitely be helpful to our current generation. Transforming knowledge into economic value has been fully, formalized with the intellectual property rights regulation and patent laws. So this might benefit India, keeping in mind its, ancient knowledge system. Now, if I come to the topic which is assigned to me related to health, wellness, and psychology, then health of an individual can depend on various factors like their constitution, food habits, strength, mentality, age, and adaptability. Okay, all of us know that some problems are on the basis of their constitution, like genetic problem, and we always discuss about various issues which are generation to generation, people are facing those problems. Then food habits, yes, always health issues depends upon the food habits of the people, then about their strength, mentality, age, adaptability, and so on. The Indian health system, Ayurveda, emphasizes the importance of knowing one's own nature, and it focuses on both preventive and curative aspects of life. Now, if you must have visited, many Ayurvedic doctors or homeopathy doctors, and you will find that they will always try to find out the nature and the, all details about any individual. In fact, they will also try to know that what type of food you like, whether you like heat or you like cold weather. Okay, what is your taste? You like sweets or you like bitter, okay, or salty food and all. So this type of understanding of one's own nature, okay, help them in diagnosing the problem, and also, assisting and advising them for preventive and curative aspects of health. The mental health of a person plays a significant role in their wellness, and thus psychology is closely linked to health and wellness. And you know that every time we think and we say that that psychological aspect, like how do you think, what is your perception, whether you have a positive approach towards your life, towards the activities, things that you do, or you have a negative approach, that also have direct impact on your health and wellness. And we have seen, you know, various examples, like those who always think negative, or those who have a negative approach towards, you know, work they do or towards people. So in that case, you will find that they may face various problems related to health. And nowadays we have seen that many students and office workers suffer from lifestyle disease, and it is important to incorporate, you know, yoga and ayurveda, which are among 20 Indian knowledge system domains in the Indian pedagogy. Now, as far as, you know, psychological aspect of health is concerned, according to Ayurveda and yoga, the notion of health is that one must be in a pleasant state of mind and the senses. Means people should think positive, they should have positive approach towards their life, to be healthy and to be psychologically strong. The mind is seen as an internal organ of our awareness of happiness, unhappiness, etc. And therefore, you know, even nowadays, earlier we used to find out the human development index, and now the system is of finding out the happiness index. And if people of any country is happy, that means that that is a developed country, or that country is moving towards the development. So happiness index is very, very important. Okay, for example, if we see, when someone enjoy a dish they love, they enjoy it. But this enjoyment is not related to the tongue or the dish itself, since it does not include the same enjoyment in everyone. Now, from this, it can be inferred that there might be some other organ that experiences joy and other such emotions. And you must have, you know, experienced, like, since I'm a professor of economics and we teach uh, economics, when we talk about satisfaction, okay, and when we talk about law of diminishing marginal return, and okay, so in that case, what happens is, like, if you are happy and if you are psychologically strong and in a happy state of mind, you will enjoy what you eat, you will enjoy what you do. And in case if you are not happy internally, you will not like anything, even if the best thing is served to you. So it means that there is something else, you know, which affect your liking of things, which affects your experiences and your emotions. So that is nothing but your psychological aspect, okay, which is very, very important in any person. In the Indian approach, you know, the body mind consciousness play a significant role in the matters of health and wellness. So the goal of health in Indian tradition is to promote happiness and a sense of satisfaction and fullness for an individual, along with the longevity and physical aspect of health. Because ultimate objective of any individual, okay, you think about your ultimate objective, you will always find one answer, and everybody will find only one answer, that they want happiness, they want to live satisfied life, they want to have peace of mind. Okay, so we all of us want that. So therefore the goal of health in Indian tradition is also, you know, to promote happiness and the sense of satisfaction. The Indian approach to psychology has long years of introspection, testing, contemplation, and experiential learning. So it draws its framework, concepts, tools, and techniques from a rich repository of diverse knowledge tradition, sharing from Upanishads. Now, when someone try to understand what Indian tradition can offer to psychiatry, or what is different in relation to Indian, you know, patients, no need to understand the traditional Indian system and predominant religion in the country. So these do shape the patient's reporting of the symptoms, reaction to stress and symptom, help seeking behavior, coping with distress, acceptance of suggested treatment, family's reaction, and reaction to the community. Now, Hinduism, if we say that Hinduism is not the original name of Indian religion, and those who followed the same since the ancient times never gave it any particular name except for dharma, and which simply means the eternal law that support and sustain those who participated. So the major, scriptures of Hinduism are the Vedas, Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita. And among these, Vedas are considered the oldest and the earliest concept of Hinduism, and are thus recorded in four Vedas. All of you know, like Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, and Artha Veda. Now, if you see the details about Veda, then Veda describes the worship of God in natural elements such as fire, water, wind, etc. And this main purpose of worship was to express gratitude for survival of creatures. And over the years, this worship of God has taken many different forms, which include, elaborate system of rituals and sacrifices to please the God. And when one tries to understand the concept of mind and mental illness from ancient Hindu knowledge, then Rig Veda and Yajur Veda suggest that mention of prayers through mantras can lead to formation of noble thoughts in mind, which help in the prevention of mental pain, that is depression. So, like, even nowadays, if people are under depression, then doctors also suggest, that you should divert your mind from those things which are depressing you. And in that case, meditation, prayers, or mantra ucharan, that always help in getting people out from the depression. The Rig Veda also discusses about the speed of mind, curiosity for methods of mental happiness, prayers for mental happiness, and methods of increasing intelligence and power of mind in healing. Yajur Veda and Earth Veda, if you see, they conceptualize mind as the basis of consciousness, inner flame of knowledge, sight of knowledge, and an instrument of hypnotism. Different Vedas provide detailed description of preservation of willpower, emotions, inspiration, and consciousness. The text also describes, emotional states like grief, envy, pleasure, hostility, attachment, laziness, etc. And there is also description of unmada. Unmada means psychosis, as a deluded state of mind. And all of us know about Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita also provides a description of emotions and cognitive deviations. Bhagavad Gita also gives, beautiful description for gaining mastery over the vacillating mind, and also describe the consciousness of failure to attain such mastery. So essentially, Gita shows a way out of worldly concerns and teaches that a person can be his or her own master. Now, Sisthyate aham sadhi mam tvam prapnam. It means I am your disciple. Guide me, help me. This is the second chapter, third shloka. Nasto moha smritir labdha tvat prasadam. Mayachyuta sthitosmi gata. Sandeha karishya vachnanam tava. That means clouds have cleared. My senses are back. All your gifts with my doubts vanished, ready to act as you direct. If you talk about Upanishads, so Upanishads also provide description of theories of perception, thought, consciousness, and memory. And there is description of, prakritvi, which means considered as equivalent to personality in modern psychiatry. And the Upanishad describe the different states of mind, like waking state, dreaming state, deep sleep state, and samadhi. The psychopathology of the mind was understood in terms of three gunas and three doshas. Now, what are these three gunas and three doshas? The three gunas, like sattva, rajas, and tamas, promote different kinds of temperament based on the dominance of one or the other gunas. These three gunas constitute the psychological components and govern all animate and inanimate existence. So they also influence forces of living which are conceptualized as vata, pitta, and kapha. And you know that our whole body works on the basis of three things like vat, pitta, and kapha. So the behavior of human physiology, psychophysiology and pathophysiology reflects the vata, pitta, kapha, these three dosha dynamics. And this understanding help in devising various assessments and treatments and management strategies. And even now also, if you go to any Ayurvedic doctor, they will try to find out whether your body has the balance between these three tattva, that is vata, pitta, and kapha. And if there is imbalance between these three, then a person will tend to suffer various disease. Okay. Then traditional methods of controlling mind was yoga and meditation. Yoga is a discipline which has evolved in India several thousand years ago with the basic aim of growth, development, and evolution of mind. The ultimate goal of yoga is to control one's own body, to handle the bodily senses, and to tame seemingly endless internal demand. It offers a world view, a lifestyle, and a series of techniques by which changes in human awareness can be brought about, which can help in realizing the human potential. And there are various systems of yoga. But however, all aim to achieve the same, that is bringing about altered state of consciousness, which is known as the cosmic consciousness, transcendental illumination, or samadhi. And it is said that correct practice of yogic technique gives rise to certain types of reactions within the person, which facilitate qualitative and quantitative changes in the awareness. So it is considered that regular practice of yogic exercise reduces psychological tension as well as reduces the decline in physical health. And in recent times, yoga and meditation have received wide acceptance and popularity all over the world. And that is why that now we also celebrate International Yoga Day in the month of June. And the all over the world, now people have realized the importance of yoga and meditation. Okay, and even foreign countries, they follow the Indian knowledge system in terms of yoga and meditation. If we talk about Ayurveda, so the word Ayurveda is derived from two words, Ayus, which refers to life, and Veda. Ayurveda is oriented towards prevention of disease, health maintenance, and treatment. Now, in view of disease as the product of an imbalance in the body and mental element which reduce, body's resistance to disease. Now, if the imbalance is corrected and the body's defense mechanism are strengthened by herbal formulas, lifestyle changes, and diet, then the body will resist a disease and eventually, eliminate all these faults, all these problems. So the definition of health according to Ayurveda is very broad. It states that maintaining physical, mental, and spiritual well-being is also part of good health. It can be divided into two aspects, where the first aspect relates the health to an individual, to the physical condition of the body. Another aspect relates to the psychological or mental well-being. And according to Ayurveda, overall health is determined by physical and psychological environment. And it takes into account the role of environmental factors, your daily routine, your lifestyle, seasonal changes, lifestyle, diet, and other regular exercises in maintaining the health. And the treatment framework in Ayurveda consists of three generic steps, like what are the cause, what are the symptoms, and what are the remedial measures. And it operates on the system of dosha. And when three doshas, like three tattva which we have discussed, like vata, pitta, and kapha, are in an equilibrium state, the body is said to be healthy condition. But when these doshas are imbalanced, it might cause a disease. The doshas have a specific relationship with the time of the day and the type of diet that one person takes. And to keep the internal organs, including the mind and intellect, in a balanced and natural state, one can follow routine prescribed in the Ayurveda. So today's life, introduces considerable stress, physical as well as psychological. And the stress experienced continuously can hinder the personal and social life of an individual, deteriorating their health. As B. Mahadevan writes in his book, Introduction to Indian Knowledge System, Concepts and Applications, that yoga addresses three aspects of life. First is a set of physical exercises that help in physical fitness and flexibility. Second talks about meditation, which help in calming the mind and providing a stable psychological state. And third helps in reorient one's goal and worldwide so that there is a degree of realism that governs one's living. And through yoga, an individual experiences stable and balanced physical and psychological states, helping the individual to reach the health and wellness goal. Now, integrating Indian wisdom into modern life, then Indian knowledge system can be relevant in temporary times. Balancing modern life, coping with stress, anxiety, lifestyle disease. And always, Indian knowledge system or our, which has mentioned in our Vedas and Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads, you will find that there are a lot of remedies and way out that are mentioned to cope with this stress, anxiety, lifestyle disease and all, which are very, very relevant, today also. And incorporating Ayurvedic practice like dietary changes, herbal remedies, and mindfulness. And nowadays, whoever are facing problem, if they visit any doctor, first thing they will talk about, same lifestyle changes. They will talk about mindfulness, mindful eating, mindfulness in all aspects of life. Then also suggestive measures will be given related to yoga and meditation, because making these practices a part of daily routine for mental and physical health is very, very important. Then psycho-spiritual growth, using Indian psychology to enhance personal development and self-awareness. The Indian knowledge system in healthcare and psychology, often referred to as Ayurveda and yoga, has a long history and is deeply rooted in ancient times and practices. Even modern Western practice, on the other hand, are largely based on scientific research, clinical trials, and evidence-based medicine. But still, there is a relevance in today's life about Indian knowledge system. First, if we talk about relevance in today's scenario, is holistic approach. Indian knowledge system emphasizes a holistic approach to health, considering the mind, body, and spirit as interconnected. And this approach is gaining recognition in the Western world as well, with an increasing focus on integrating mind-body practice into healthcare. Then second, prevention and lifestyle management. Ayurveda emphasizes preventive measures and lifestyle management to maintain optimal health and prevent illness. So this preventive aspect is increasingly recognized and adopted in Western medicines due to the rising, prevalence of chronic disease there. Then about mental health, Indian psychology, particularly, sorry, in the form of yoga and meditation, has gained worldwide recognition for its effectiveness in maintaining, stress, anxiety, and other mental health conditions. Western psychology has also started incorporating mindfulness based interventions, showing the relevance and effectiveness of Indian practices. So, see, all Western psychology are now incorporating, which was given in the Indian knowledge system in Vedas and Puranas of Indian culture. Individualized treatment. Ayurveda and yoga emphasize personalized approach, taking into account individual variations in body constitution, temperament, and lifestyle. So these personalized approach is gaining attention in Western medicine, as there is increasing recognition that one size fits all approach may not work for everyone. And now customized treatment, understanding each individual becomes very, very important. Then scientific backing. While Ayurveda and yoga have been traditionally based on experiential knowledge, they are increasingly being studied through scientific research. There is growing evidence supporting the efficacy and relevance of certain Ayurvedic treatments and yoga practice in the treatment and prevention of various diseases. And there is also integration with modern medicine. In recent years, there has been an increased efforts to integrate traditional Indian knowledge system with modern Western practices. Many institutions and healthcare centers are exploring the benefits of combining the two approach to provide holistic care to the patients. Then this Indian knowledge system in healthcare and psychology has a rich history that date back thousands of years. And it has traditionally been based on ancient texts and practices like Ayurveda, yoga, Vedic sciences, etc. And over time, the Indian knowledge system in these fields has evolved and adapted to the changing needs and challenges of the modern world. And some key aspects of the evolution are like integration of modern medicine. Now, with the advent of modern medicine during the colonial period, there has been a significant integration of Western medicine knowledge into the Indian healthcare system. And this has led to establishment of hospitals, then medical schools, research institutes that follow modern, scientific principles and practice. Then incorporation of evidence-based approach. The Indian knowledge system in healthcare and psychology has gradually embraced evidence-based approaches to treatment and therapy. The emphasis on scientific research, clinical trials, and outcome-based methodologies has contributed to more effective and evidence-backed interventions. Cross-cultural and interdisciplinary exchange. Indian healthcare and psychology have become more open to cross-cultural exchange and interdisciplinary approach. So this has led to the integration of ideas and practices from other cultures such as Western psychology, traditional Chinese medicine, and other holistic healing modalities. The blending of different approaches has enriched the Indian knowledge system and also expanded its scope. Then this led to development of specialized field. The Indian healthcare and psychology system has recognized the need for specialized field to address specific needs and challenges. And this has led to establishment of specialized branches such as, geriatric care, child psychology, addiction treatment, mental health counseling, etc. And these fields have developed specific techniques and framework to cater the diverse needs of the population. Then also there is development of digital health care and telemedicine. In recent years, the Indian healthcare system has made significant strides in adopting technology and digital transforms to overcome challenges related to accessibility and reach. Telemedicine, mobile applications, and online consultation have emerged as popular solution, especially in rural and remote areas. And this adoption has made healthcare and psychological support more accessible to a larger population. The Indian knowledge system has increasingly recognized the importance of mental health and well-being. So efforts have been made to address the stigma associated with mental illness and promote awareness through public campaign and educational initiatives. And the advantage of counseling services, mindfulness programs, and support groups has helped enhance mental health care. Then integration of traditional and modern practice. Indian healthcare and psychology have sought to integrate traditional practices with modern intervention. This has resulted in a more holistic and comprehensive approach to treatment and therapy. For example, Ayurveda and yoga are often combined with modern medicine to provide a holistic healthcare experience for individuals. Now, if we talk about modern technique and healthcare, then you will see that telehealth and telemedicine, this is a new development. Like COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the adoption of telehealth and telemedicine practices in India. And this has enabled remote consultations and delivery of healthcare services, especially for non-emergency conditions. And the availability of telehealth platforms and increased internet penetration has significantly improved access to healthcare, especially in rural and remote areas. Then also, there is advancement of artificial intelligence and machine learning. India is witnessing an increased interest in the use of artificial intelligence and machine learning in healthcare. These technologies help in improving the accuracy of diagnosis, predicting disease outcomes, and optimizing treatment plans. So AI-powered chatbots are also being utilized to provide mental health support and counseling services nowadays. Then there is development of e-mental health and online counseling. The mental health landscape in India is evolving with the emergence of e-mental health platform and online counseling services. And these platforms provide remote access to mental health professionals, ensuring confidentiality and privacy. They are particularly useful in addressing the growing mental health concern during the pandemic. Then there was integration of traditional medicine. Like as we have already discussed, that India has a rich tradition of traditional medicine system like Ayurveda, yoga, naturopathy, and homeopathy. So this is growing trend towards integration of these traditional practices with modern medicine. And this integration caters to the holistic well-being of individuals and addresses the growing interest in alternative and complementary therapies. Then also there is public mental and health initiatives. The Indian government has been actively investing in public health initiatives, recognizing the need to address mental health challenges at a population level. And initiatives like National Mental Health Program and the District Mental Health Program aim to create awareness, reduce stigma, and provide accessible mental health services in both urban and rural areas. Then there is digital health records. The digitization of health records is gaining momentum in India now. Digital health records promote, seamless transfer of medicine and medical information between healthcare provider and reducing error and improving continuity of care. And this advancement facilitates better data analysis for research and policy making. So, online education and awareness about health. So, the availability of online resources and platform dedicated to health education and awareness in increasing in India. This allows individual to access reliable information about various health conditions, preventive measures, and self-care practices. So the Indian knowledge system in healthcare and psychology is indeed, adapting to changing societal norms and cultural context to ensure more inclusive and effective treatment for diverse population in several ways. So here are some examples like cultural sensitivity and awareness. Indian healthcare and psychology professionals are being trained to have a better understanding of diverse cultures and their specific health needs. This includes like learning about cultural practices, their tradition, beliefs related to health and well-being. By being culturally sensitive, s- professional can provide more appropriate and effective care to diverse population following different cultures. Then integration of traditional and modern approach, like India has a rich heritage of traditional healing practices like Ayurveda, yoga, meditation. So the Indian knowledge system is integrating this traditional approach with modern treatment methods to provide holistic care. And this approach knowledge acknowledges the cultural relevance of traditional practice while incorporating evidence-based techniques for better health outcomes. Then also addressing, stigma and mental health awareness. Mental health issues are often, stigmatized in Indian society. However, there is a growing effort to raise awareness about mental health, reduce stigma, and promote inclusion. And this includes public campaign, educational programs, and community initiatives aimed at destigmatizing mental health issues and encouraging people from diverse backgrounds to seek help. Then there is also multilingual and accessible resources. India has diverse linguistic communities. So to ensure inclusivity, healthcare and psychology resources are being developed in multiple languages, making them more accessible to people from different ethnic groups and regions. And this help in improving communication and understanding between professionals and patients, resulting in better treatment outcome. Next is about tailored intervention for specific population. So Indian knowledge system is recognizing the importance of providing tailored interventions for specific population. For example, like there are initiatives focusing on mental health and well-being programs for LGBTQ and plus other individuals, women, children, and other marginalized group. And these programs take into account the unique challenges and needs of these population for more effective and inclusive treatment. So the Indian knowledge system in healthcare and psychology acknowledges the importance of adapting its practices to accommodate and respect the changing societal norms and cultural context when serving diverse population. And here are some ways to do it, like cultural competency. Indian healthcare and psychology professionals recognizes the significance of cultural competency in providing effective and sensitive care. So they continuously update their knowledge about different cultural practices, beliefs, values to better understand the needs and preferences of this diverse population. Then collaborative approach, like professionals in the field engage in collaborative efforts with communities and organizations representing diverse population. And these help in effectively assessing and addressing the specific health and psychological needs of these communities while considering their unique, cultural context. Then culturally sensitive assessment. Indian healthcare and psychology professionals employ culturally sensitive assessment tools and techniques to ensure that the evaluation process respect the cultural norms and values of this diverse population they serve. And this involves, adapting assessment methods to be culturally appropriate and incorporating the perspectives of the community in the assessment process. Then tailored intervention, like treatment plans and interventions are modified to align with cultural norms and values. Indian professionals often, employ a holistic approach, incorporating traditional healing practices and alternative therapies if they are accepted and valued in a specific cultural context. Then linguistic competence, like recognize the importance of language in effective communication and understanding. Indian professionals strive to provide services in the language that is most comfortable for the diverse population they serve. And this may involve, utilizing interpreters or employing bilingual professional to ensure clear communication there. Then community engagement, like to foster trust and acceptance. Indian healthcare and psychology professionals actively engage with local communities by collaborating with community leaders, organizing awareness campaigns, and conducting workshops to educate and raise awareness about mental health and well-being. And these initiatives are designed to be culturally sensitive and respectful to all. Then Indian professionals continuously update their knowledge through training and education programs that focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion aspects. This helps them stay informed about the shifting societal norms and cultural context, enabling them to provide, quality care to diverse population. Then these are, some which we have already discussed, like inclusion of traditional medicine, mental health, cultural sensitivity, gender sensitivity, holistic approach, because Indian healthcare and psychology have embraced holistic approach, recognizing the interconnectedness of physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Traditional healing practice like yoga, meditation, mindfulness are often incorporated into treatment plans, aligning with the cultural context of a society that values overall well-being rather than just, treating the symptoms. Now, if you see now the new, system under new education policy, then there is inclusion of knowledge, Indian knowledge system under new education policy. If you see the para 4.27 of new education policy 2020, which refers to the traditional knowledge of India that is both sustainable and strives for the welfare of all. So in order to become the knowledge power in this century, it is imperative that we understand our heritage and teach the world the Indian way of doing things. So as the concept, IKS is introduced in new education policy, and the objective of introducing this is to promote interdisciplinary research on all aspects of IKS, preserve and disseminate IKS for further research and societal applications, then actively engage for spreading the rich heritage of our country and traditional knowledge in the field of arts, literature, agriculture, basic sciences, engineering, technology, architecture, management, economics, etc. And the curriculum that is framed has a list of 25 areas identified for the focus group papers. And in order to incorporate these elements in a scientific manner, IKS Division of Higher Education Department has already established 13 IKS system in different part of country. So IKS centers have been established for research, education, outreach activities through research and program across the country under wide categories of subjects such as science, engineering, technology, health and wellness through Ayurveda, yoga, naturopathy, psychology, linguistic, phonetics, epistemology, language, technology, management, and so on. So this wide area related to Indian knowledge system has been introduced in the curriculum. So that's all from my side. So Indian knowledge system, to be in brief, if we say, is very, very important in all aspect to understand for the well-being of any individual. Okay, not only just physical health, but also mental health. And we all have been experiencing this time to time whenever we visit doctor. Okay, they all suggest about yoga, about exercises, okay, about different herbs which are mentioned in the our Ved, Upanishads, okay, and Puranas, Bhagavad Gita. So Indian knowledge system is very, very relevant in today's world also. And you can see that even Western world is adopting the huge knowledge that was there in the Indian knowledge system and our old heritage, and they are all incorporated now for today's relevance. And we all are teachers, and you must have seen students also, this generation suffering from a lot of problem, because at least we understand about our heritage. We follow some guidelines mentioned there. We are not following that type of lifestyle, and we understand what is good for us, what is bad for us. And this new generation, as they don't know about our heritage, our Indian system, and they are all adopting Western culture, Western countries, they are adopting which was mentioned in Indian knowledge system. And now our this generation is following Western culture, and that is the reason that they are suffering from a lot of mental issues, health issues, physical health issues. And for this, now it is very, very important that we should teach them, we should make them understand that what should they be followed by them, what is the lifestyle that they should follow, okay, and how preventive or precautionary measures can be taken to avoid such type of problems. Okay, so thank you so much. So that's all from my side. If there is anything, any point, any discussion, anything anybody would like to add in this, so most welcome.